Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and here I have the Buddha's Hand Citron. Citrus medica var sarcodactylis. Citrus medica var sarcodactylis. Well, Citrus medica var sarcodactylis, what does this mean? Well, Citrus medica is the aromatic citron, and it was the first citrus fruits the Romans encountered when the Jews during the Jewish diaspora moved all around the Roman Empire. And so the Romans named this fruit citrus because it smelled similar to a wood they knew, which they called citrus. Well, Citrus medica, yeah, some say it says that it comes from Medea or some place or country with medica in its name. There are several theories about the origin of the name. It's also possible that it just means that it's a medicinal plant. I mean, citrus fruit are very healthy and also have antibacterial and come on, and disinfecting properties. It was called the medic apple, or the apple from Medea, some place in the east. Well, the interesting thing about this citron is it not only has a very iconic shape on the outside, it also looks very strange on the inside. Well, the variety sarcodactylis, which means literally sacred fingers, has those fingers. Sometimes they are up to 20, sometimes they are much longer than in this one. I bought quite a small fruit, but on the thumbnail there is a bigger fruit. They were very expensive and sold by weight, so I didn't want to pay 5 or 6 euro just for one fruit, which is, yeah, of interesting but limited and unusual use. So what do you use this thing for? Yeah, basically every compilation of citrus pictures, so every list of citrus pictures, so every citrus tree collection has this plant. But for some reason it's quite hard to find the fruit for sale. In markets, in supermarkets, it's very rare. That's actually only the second or third time I've seen such fruit for sale anywhere in the world, despite the fact that the plants are being sold a lot, even in temperate climates, to grow them in pots. They are in every botanical collection which collects citrus. Yeah, so why is the plant so popular but not the fruit? It's a pity, because you can use the fruit for a lot of things. What you cannot use it for is its juice. Because, by the way, well, let's start with the smell. So before I cut it, this thing had a nice, spicy, musky, heavy smell, quite hard to describe. Different than the more flowery smell of the Buddha's Hand Citron I encountered in Borneo. And then once you cut it open, it does smell like when you cut open a lemon. But there is no juicy inside. That might be one reason why the plant might be very popular, but the fruit is not being sold so often. So what can you do with the citrus fruit which has no juice and no juicy pulp inside? It just has this sponge-like pith. Well, first thing, Buddhists consider this fruit sacred because it looks like praying hands, so it's being called Buddha's Hand Citron. So for them it has religious significance. They bring it as an offering to Buddha. So religious use. Also, even if you are not a Buddhist and just keep it around your room, around your house, around your flat, it's very aromatic. It will perfume your entire flat. Actually, the first time I found Buddha's Hand Citron on a market, on a giant busy market, was by smell. The whole area was smelling of a really wonderful, flowery, fruity. It's not so much fruity or lemony, it's more a flowery smell. So you can use it as a perfume. Then, what many people do not know, here is a fingertip I cut off. You can eat it. This one is actually not as good as the one I had in Borneo. The one I had in Borneo was slightly sweet. This one tastes like lemon skin, but without this sharpness and astringency. Lemon skin, if you take the unpleasant bitterness and astringency and sharpness out of it, and are just left with the flavor of lemon skin. But apart from that, this is quite tasteless. The one I had in Borneo, which had its fingers bent and not open like this one, was slightly sweet. Oh yeah, down here in the wider part it is actually slightly sweet. What can you compare it to? It's a bit like eating a soft apple, but taste-wise it's not like a soft apple. It's also like, well, like eating some vegetable, like eating a kohlrabi or something. But the taste is citrusy. A trace of sweetness, a trace of sourness, or basically citrusy flavor without the citrusy juice. It's basically like eating lemon rind without the unpleasantness. That's how I can describe it. Without the unpleasantness, but also without the pleasant sourness of the lemon. Well, this is another use. You can just eat it out of hand. I guess it's also good against bad breath. If you eat this, I'm sure your mouth will smell wonderful. Actually, the yellow rind has a bit of sourness and astringency. Well, I mean, there is this etheric oil here. Here you can see it. I'm squeezing it out of the pores in the skin, so you can see the little droplets. I guess this is, oh yeah, lemony and spicy at the same time. So this is what most of the smell comes from, but the taste is not as pleasant as a white pith. Well, another use, you can basically candy this. You can pickle it in a sugar syrup, and then you'll have a really tasty citrus skin. That's actually the original citronate was made from this species, and in parts of Italy and in other countries it's still widely used, although mostly not the variety with the fingers, but the variety which looks like a giant lemon. So yeah, pity I don't see it often enough in markets or supermarkets. It is a fruit with unusual uses for citrus fruit, but still it's the first citrus fruit the Western world encountered, and it still has a lot of different uses. So folks, please sell more Buddha's Hand Citron in markets and supermarkets. Buy more Buddha's Hand Citron. Now you have a couple ideas what you can do with it. Even if you just keep it in your flat, you will not regret it because it smells wonderful. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful island of Tenerife. And don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.